Hey everyone, my name is Ernest Key. I'm the broker record for Key Legacy Realty, and today I'll be covering two negotiating tactics that can help you fortify your offers. This is especially good if you're a buyer agent or a buyer. Come follow me. All right, let's get into it. When you're a buyer or buyer agent, it's important to know the two most valuable assets to a seller. Number one, time. And the second, more obvious one is money. Money, the almighty dollar. Now, in a second, I'm going to hop on a laptop and break down how these two commodities, if you will, can help you fortify your offers. Okay, people, change of plans. The laptop is on a fritz, so we're going to have to operate off of this cell phone here. But it's okay, because like my grandmother used to say, the devil is a lie, and I'm going to get you this information. So just to recap, our two valuable assets to a seller: number one, time, and number two, money. So in regards to time, right? In the traditional market, what you want to do is close the gap between time and money. Basically, what that means is you want to settle as quickly as possible if you're the seller. So this is the way it will look. You're the buyer or buyer agent putting together an offer. You're going to say, hey, seller, we're going to close this transaction in 2 weeks. So you get your proceeds, booyah. Now, there's a caveat to that. In the seller's market, yes, the seller still may want their proceeds quickly. However, most sellers, when they transition from their home, they need to become buyers, which means that they go from being a seller with all the leverage in the seller's market to now being a buyer, competing with other buyers. Yes, they do have money in their pocket because they sold their home, but they're homeless or living out of a hotel. So what you can do as a buyer or buyer agent to fortify your offer is to put something in a contract that says, hey, seller, look, we're going to close quickly, which means you're going to have your money, but I'm also going to give you some time. Now, that could be 30 to 60 days, depending on your lender. So you have to check with him or her, because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have guidelines regarding occupancy. But you get the point. And it's a strategy that I've used before. It works out perfectly. Now, one way to protect yourself, if you were to do that, is to incorporate something called a post-settlement possession addendum. Now, this addendum is basically stating that, hey, seller, after this transaction, you get this amount of time. These are the rules. It's almost like a lease, pretty much, in summary. Or you can just use a traditional lease, which I've done. But once again, you have to check with your lender because Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they have guidelines regarding things like this. And oftentimes, after a buyer purchases a home, they want that buyer to immediately move into the property. And so that's how that works. So our other carrot, if you will, that we can dangle over sellers' head is money. So now I'm going to show you what's called an ALTA. This is from a property that my business partner and I sold years ago. And I'm going to just scroll down to page 2 and show you some itemizations here. So if you look at this one, it says $4,589 and some change, and then $1,400, and then you see the words transfer tax. Now, fortunately, in Philadelphia, transfer tax is really high. They're about 3.278. I believe that's the percentage of the purchase price that gets charged to the seller and buyer for conveyancing, meaning when properties change hands, the city charges a tax. Additionally, the state charges a tax of 1%. So in aggregate, it's 4.278. And traditionally, that figure gets split in half. And it works out to be 2.139% per side. And as you can see, it can be a significant amount of money. So one way to fortify your offer and make it more attractive to a seller is to say, hey, look, I'm going to not only give you the purchase price you asked for, I'm willing to cover the transfer tax, pay full transfer tax. So not only are you going to pay your 2.139%, you're going to pay their 2.139%. Another itemization on here that you can cover is the commission. Now you can see here the commission was $7,000. So imagine if you went to the seller and say, hey, look, not only will I pay your transfer tax, your side of it, I'm going to also cover whatever commissions that you have outstanding owed to your listing broker. So just imagine how cute your offer looks now, because, the name of the game is seller wants a lot of money, seller may need time, and you're going to give them both if possible. So both of these strategies can be used in conjunction with each other. You can just do money. You can just do time. It all works out. So anyway, those are some strategies I've used in the past, and they definitely work. If you want more, feel free to reach out. And just to recap, your 2 carrots, time, money.